What if I told you that one of the most common things we do for our babies, something we think is cozy and protective, is actually making it harder for them to learn to walk? Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm not a doctor or a physical therapist. I'm a mom on a mission to read all the parenting books and studies so you don't have to. And today, we need to talk about something I discovered that honestly kind of shocked me. Because it turns out that putting socks or shoes on your little one's feet indoors might be one of the biggest roadblocks we accidentally put in their way. And it's just the first of 3 common mistakes we're going to cover today, with the last one being the most serious. So why are bare feet so important? It all comes down to one incredible concept, the sensory feedback loop. Think of your baby's feet as highly advanced sensors covered in nerve endings that are constantly sending critical information to the brain. They are learning about balance, posture, and coordination with every single step. Now, imagine trying to read a page of Braille while wearing thick winter gloves. You'd get a muffled, useless signal, right? That's what a shoe does to your baby's foot. It's a sensory deprivation tank. When they are barefoot, their feet are reading a rich and complex language. They feel the cool, smooth firmness of tile, and their brain learns about stable surfaces. They step onto a rug, and the texture of the fibers gives them a totally different lesson in grip and pressure. They might walk on grass for the first time and feel its softness and slight unevenness, teaching their ankles to make tiny, constant adjustments. Each sensation is a new piece of data, a new lesson that builds a strong foundation for confident walking. Shoes and even socks rob them of this vital education. On top of that, on smooth surfaces like hardwood or tile, regular socks can be like ice skates. A little slip here, a little slide there, and a baby who was feeling brave can suddenly lose their confidence. And hard-soled, restrictive shoes slow down the development of the foot's muscles and the formation of a healthy arch. So the solution for mistake number 1 is simple: as much safe, barefoot time as possible. When you absolutely need shoes, look for the most lightweight, flexible options you can find. I'll pop a few examples of what to look for in the description. That was mistake number 1. But this next one tends to surprise parents even more because it feels so natural, so supportive to do. I'm talking about holding your child's hands to help them walk. It feels like we're giving them the support they need, right? But what we're actually doing can create a dependency that slows down their journey to walking independently. And I have the perfect, slightly painful story to illustrate this. A mother I know has a daughter who, around 11 months, discovered the absolute joy of walking while holding her mom's hands. It was her favorite activity. She would cruise from room to room, beaming with pride, hands held high. The problem was she loved it so much that it's all she wanted to do. For 4 months. For 4 months, this mom spent a huge portion of her day bent over at a 90-degree angle, her daughter happily toddling along while her mom's lower back was in what she described as absolute agony. We've all felt that twinge, but imagine it being your default posture for hours a day. It became a running joke between us. Her daughter would hold her hands up with a little squeal, and my friend would just close her eyes and take a deep breath before bending over again. Then one day, the little girl just let go. She took one wobbly step, then another, and then a third, all on her own. My friend said it was a double celebration. Of course, she was ecstatic for her daughter's huge milestone, but she also said with tears of joy in her eyes, "I can finally stand up straight again." It's a funny story, but the takeaway is serious. When we hold their hands, we become their balance. They don't learn how to use their own arms to catch themselves or how to shift their weight to correct a wobble. They aren't finding their own center of gravity, they're borrowing ours. It can even encourage them to walk up on their toes because they're being pulled up slightly. It's a fun game to play sometimes, but over-reliance can truly delay their independence. Has your back ever paid the price for helping your little one walk? Share your story in the comments. We've all been there. But the final mistake is the most serious. Let's talk about a device often advertised in big box stores to help babies walk,
that can actually do more harm than good. I'm talking about sit-in baby walkers. Now, let's be crystal clear about what I mean. I am talking about this, the device with a fabric sling that the baby sits inside, their legs dangling, surrounded by a plastic tray. I am not talking about this, a push trolley or push walker that the baby stands behind and pushes themselves. Those can be fantastic tools for building strength and confidence. The sit-in walker, however, is a different story. And the research on this is frighteningly clear. The primary problem is that these walkers teach an abnormal walking motion. Because they are sitting and dangling, babies learn to push off with their toes. They are learning a toe-first pattern instead of the natural, mature heel-to-toe gait that they need for their entire lives. And here's where it gets serious. This isn't just about learning a bad habit. Spending prolonged periods in that toe-walking position can cause the calf muscles to physically tighten and shorten. It starts as a pattern, but it can become a physical reality. If this continues, it can lead to a physical limitation, a condition where the calf muscles have become so tight that the child is physically unable to get their heel to the floor to walk with a normal pattern. This isn't just a bad habit. It can become a physical condition requiring intervention from a physical therapist to correct. The very tool you bought to help could lead to medical appointments down the road. On top of that, the walker supports all their weight. It removes the need for them to develop the critical core, hip, and leg strength that is the entire point of learning to walk. They aren't learning to balance. The walker is doing it for them. It's a shortcut that leads to a dead end. So, to get your child walking confidently and naturally, just remember the 3 things to avoid. First, constant shoe wearing indoors. Second, over-reliance on hand-holding. And third, and most importantly, sit-in baby walkers. Now that you know what to avoid, you probably want to know what you can do. In my next video, I'll share 6 fantastic, playful activities you can do at home to build all the foundational skills your little one needs for walking. So, if you found this helpful and want to see those 6 playful activities, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss it. It really helps the channel reach and protect more parents just like us. And one last thing, you know how it is. This kind of advice can sometimes be controversial. Well, save this video to your library so you can always come back to it.